right, guys, welcome back to the Gatineau Valley Youth Voices podcast broadcast. This is our, I believe, fifth episode, and we are nearing Christmas, nearing the new year of 2026. We are so excited to be bringing on some more guests and be doing some more episodes for you guys. Speaking of which, I am here with
Aakrist.
I'm here with Aakrist to share his story. He comes from Ottawa. You said Southside? Mm-hmm. So he's from Southside Ottawa, Ontario, and he has come onto the podcast today to share a little bit about his story, his community, and what it was like for him, or what it is like for him being a youth. So it's a pleasure to meet you and have you on. Thank you for joining. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Where should I begin?
Southside Ottawa, were you born Southside Ottawa?
I was born in Nepal.
Okay.
Born in Nepal.
Oh, wow.
And I grew up there for the first 7 years of my life.
Okay.
Yeah, colorful, beautiful, mountainous ranges, like one of the most beautiful places in the world, right?
Oh, wow.
And I moved to Canada when I was 7.
Okay.
So completely displaced from home. Mm-hmm. Having to learn a new language, make new friends. I don't really fit in anywhere.
That must have been difficult.
I don't fit in at school. I don't fit in at home. And so, yeah, very early on, I was always asking the question, like, why? I don't know why what, or like what, but there was just this question of like, I'm different. Why? What does this mean? So trying to make meaning of life, kind of like, I guess I wasn't doing it consciously back then, but really like trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah. I like trying to find your purpose.
Yeah, or just like my place, where do I fit in, having to learn a new language, make new friends. It was difficult being an immigrant, and like being easily singled out and being bullied for that too, for having an accent, for being different. I had earrings when I was a kid, because in Nepal you get your ears pierced at 3 months old for your rice feeding.
Oh.
So I was picked on for that, not speaking the language.
Could you explain a little bit? I'm sorry, you were saying the ear piercing was part of a like a cultural tradition?
Yeah.
And what's this?
So you need to have your ears pierced in Nepal for 3 occasions in your life, I believe. One is the rice feeding at 3 or 6 months old.
Okay.
And then it's your coming of age ceremony, kind of like a Nepalese bar mitzvah.
Okay, yeah.
Situation.
Yeah.
And then your wedding.
Okay.
Yeah. So for those 3 events in your life,
yeah,
you need your ears pierced. I don't know what the significance is. I never really asked my parents, although I'm curious now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had earrings back then.
Okay.
So I was just, I was different. I was very different.
And like you were bullied because of the earrings, and you were saying the accent.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of things. Not fitting in, essentially. Like standing out as different.
Yeah. And you
not speaking the language and not really knowing how to stand up for myself. I didn't really have the vocabulary to.
Yeah. Okay. And there was no like, how do you say it? There was nobody else, like no other like immigrants to the school or anything, that like there was nobody else of your culture?
Not from Nepal. Actually, there was this one other kid that was from Nepal. And actually we're family friends, so my parents knew his parents.
Oh, yeah. That's lucky.
That was nice.
Okay,
nice.
So at least you had one person to connect with in school. Okay. And I mean, of course, them sharing in the same sort of hurdles that you're going through at the time, right? Because I'm guessing they also immigrated over.
They were born here in Canada at the time.
Okay.
So different but similar.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. So, and then growing up in Ottawa, at what age were you in school in Ottawa?
So I moved to Canada when I was 7, so I got here in grade 2.
Okay. So yeah, grade 2. Sorry, because I know Ottawa's system is just a tiny bit different than Quebec schooling. Well, I know you guys have like an extra grade. You guys have grade 12. We stop at 11.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think you guys at like grade 10 or grade 11 have the option of taking French classes. And we're obligated to take the French classes right through grade 11. Yeah. So that's why I was
we have the option.
Okay.
Well, there's the immersion, and then there's like...
that's what it was.
The option.
Okay. So from 7, 8 years old until I'm guessing like 17, almost 18. You're in school, struggling a little bit, but how were things at home with like family or say the Ontario community? Were you and your family very like intimate with the community, going to events and stuff, or were you guys very like closed off in like your own home?
We had a Nepalese community. We still have one in Ottawa.
Oh, okay.
So a bunch of Nepalese people
Amazing.
That live in the city. A lot of them are in Barrhaven, actually.
Oh, Barrhaven.
So,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, we'd go to those events, and that was nice, being in a group where, you know, people speak the same language,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
look the same,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can identify. But even then, I always felt I was different.
Okay.
And just as a kid, I was very, very sensitive, cried very easily, and felt a lot of emotions, but didn't really know how to put it into words, or like didn't really have the space to feel them. I wasn't really taught to, and also my parents weren't comfortable feeling their own emotions. So
Okay. So,
as a result, that kind of gets projected.
yeah, right. Like the generational, it passes on.
Just naturally. Yeah.
Okay. So, and then getting out of school and kind of, you know, realizing, hey, I'm a little bit different from everybody, you know, like there's something about me that's like black sheepish, you know, I stand out from the crowd. After high school, what sort of path did you take after that? Did you like go to college, or did you take some time to self-reflect?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to have that space to reflect while still in school. Like, I'm very blessed with great parents. Everyone has their challenges, right? But my parents were awesome.
Okay.
My parents were really
Very,
good.
very supportive.
Yeah, very supportive. Although, you know, there's the challenges of the culture and us moving here from Nepal. So them having their expectations of, oh, you know, we gotta uphold our cultures from Nepal. So I would have to get home early, like before 9, before dark. You know, if it's dark outside, it's late. Even if it's winter, it's like 4 p.m. Like, I can't even hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
So I really learned to sneak around and go under the radar and not get caught with certain things. So that was a real big part of me growing up, was the shame and also the guilt I would feel around even just coming home late.
Oh, okay.
And it being blown out of proportion. Whereas all my friends, they would just go home, it's easy.
Yeah.
You know,
Laid
even
back,
like
chill.
going home high under the influence, they'd be like, yeah, my parents don't care.
No.
I'm just, like, get my Visine on, you know.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure I like my
spray.
ritual. Yeah, like gotta take my right foot in first. Can't make eye contact. Go straight to my room. So that was an experience. So that was a big part of growing up, was having like a different identity at home, at school, and also in my own inner world.
Yeah, well, I hear a lot about that, you know, whenever families immigrate over, you know, the parents, like, they love their children a lot, right? Like, parents should always want their children to do better than they've done, or, you know, like, just do the best that they can. So I've seen a lot of times, like, whenever families immigrate over, there's always that pressure to uphold a certain standard that, like, you know, the children of the family are now going to be the face or the representative of the family, right? Like, your career or your life choices
and
are
their
going
status
to,
in the community and in the neighborhood, and
and it'll
there's a lot
reflect
of
on
that
how
too.
they're looked upon, right? But no, it's nice that your parents were supportive. You know, I know you said you still face those challenges of having to sort of split your life between the two of them. And like, touching on that, when you had, I guess, quote unquote, your chains of morality taken off and you were able to be free, what did you choose to do with that time?
What do you mean when you say chains of morality?
Like, you were saying, like, you know, you had to, like, act this certain way, be this certain person when you were in home, but you felt like whenever you were out with your friends, you could just be whoever you wanted to be, right? Like, you could feel like you could just drop that jacket of, you know, having to uphold standards.
Right, and be within a certain perception
Yeah.
of my parents.
So,
yeah.
like, what did you do at that time that, you know, helped or hindered the, how do you say it, to shape the character that you are?
It's pretty subtle. I feel anytime I would leave the house and be at school, that was fun for me.
Okay.
And I got to explore a different part of who I was, particularly in high school. Playing sports, just meeting new friends, and drugs as well. Just started smoking weed in high school.
Okay.
Didn't really drink much. And sports was really big for me. So I played soccer for most of my life. And that was a place where I could express myself.
Okay.
Cultivate a skill, get really good at something. And also build community around it. My teammates, making friends. And meet people really easily.
Yeah, learning how to be a team player, how to socialize. And when you were talking about like taking recreational drugs, what sort of got you into that or started that?
That's a good question.
Like, tell me about the first time you got high.
The first time I got high, summer after grade 10. And one of my friends had some weed, and he also had a backwood.
Okay,
Backwoods?
yeah.
And he was like, yo, my cousin in Toronto, this is how he smokes it. We're gonna smoke it like this. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. For my first time, great. And so I remember taking a pull, and then the next thing I remember is I'm lying on the ground, just like laughing. Just like a gap in my awareness. And honestly, that was one of my most favorite highs, because I wasn't anxious. I was in a really safe environment. And since then, I just continued to do it because that's what my friends did.
So you
and
don't
I did
feel
it all the way until university, probably for like 8 years of my life, smoked weed. And it got to a point where, that's interesting. It's my first time I'm realizing this. I enjoyed my first high a lot. And as I continued to do it, I would eventually have to go home high sometimes.
Yeah.
And the shame and the guilt in hiding who I was and my behaviors outside of home, that actually created a lot of anxiety for me anytime I was high, because I would start to associate that with being high itself.
Yeah.
And eventually, every time I smoke weed, I would just be like super paranoid.
You like Pavloved yourself into it.
Yeah. And I did it all the way until like university. I would smoke and I would feel like shit. I was anxious, I was jittery, I was paranoid, I couldn't speak. I felt like the world was really small and I couldn't express myself. I'd feel embarrassed. I'd be on the train going home, like, not gonna make eye contact with anybody, like, don't look at me, I'm super embarrassed, I can't speak, put my words together. And I'd probably been going like that for 3 years. And it took me probably 2 years after that, I realized, I don't actually enjoy it. I don't actually enjoy being high anymore.
Yeah.
And so that habit, I don't smoke weed anymore. It's been...
Well, congratulations.
That's, many years.
Good for you. And when you had started, do you find like it was just like a choice of free will? It wasn't like peer pressure from friends? It wasn't like...
It was exciting.
Okay. It wasn't like retribution against your parents or anything?
No,
it was just...
for me it was exciting.
I just wanted
I remember
to
it was
enjoy this.
exciting actually, There was no really like retribution. I know my parents would have been like, don't do it.
Nah.
Right? But there was not really any sense of consequence or like resistance against. It eventually probably became that way deep in my psyche, but the first time there was none of that. I just really loved my friends. I had awesome friends in high school, and I actually really loved high school. A lot of people say they hated high school. I loved high school.
I've been telling these kids too, like, I mean, it makes me sound old whenever I say I'm telling these kids, but like, I go to the gas station, there was this one kid there, he's telling me, I'm graduating this year, and then, like, F school, I'm out of here, and so you're gonna miss it. I said, the second you walk out of those doors and you realize you're not coming back in August, you're gonna miss it. Oh, no, I won't. I said, you might not miss the school, you might not miss the teachers, you might not miss the paperwork. You're gonna miss your friends, You're going to miss the lunchtime laughs. You're going to miss the sports clubs. You're going to miss, you know, like all those other aspects that came in high school were the reasons I showed up every day. It wasn't to go get homework or to, you know, do what had to be done. It was, I enjoyed the community of having friends and, you know, being able to express myself with them and shape and mold and learn, you know. It was like, that was my experience through high school. My experience in high school was like, when I left, I felt like I had lost something. And I've been trying to encourage people like in grade 10, grade 11, or I guess in Ontario, grade 12, like, don't give up on that whole thing. Like, try to keep your, you know, keep your friend circles going, keep that community, keep, you know, you were saying you were into sports and stuff, like playing soccer. That's, you know, chase after that afterwards whenever you're out of school, you know, like I used to play U16, U18 for Gracefield. That, you know,
Soccer?
Yeah, soccer. Yeah, it was fun. We did tournaments and stuff for Bouchette. And so actually share a little bit about your experience. Was your soccer like through school or did you do league as well?
I played club as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played
Nice.
club. And just on high school before we transition, I started missing high school when grade 12 started.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't out of high school yet. I was like, man, I loved high school so much. I went to an amazing high school, St. Pat's, great teachers, lots of sports, probably one of the most prolific and competent sports schools in Ottawa. So many athletes. There's a guy that went to the NBA, there's two that are in the NFL.
Seems like they breed athletes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that, being in that environment was really fun and competitive.
Yeah.
And actually went to one of my friend's talks yesterday, and he mentioned there's 3 things that are really important when building a new habit or wanting to work up to a goal or a vision you have. One is ritual. The second are people. And the third is the spaces.
Okay.
So ritual, people, spaces. And in high school, you don't necessarily get to choose all of them, but we do have some sort of control, and we're in an environment where there are rituals placed for us. The timetable, you do the morning prayer, you go to class, there's lunch, recess. People, you're in certain classes with certain people, teachers, mentors, the people younger than you, the people older than you. And then third is the spaces, which is, you know, does your high school have a lot of drugs? Is it really small? Are there resources? Is there a gym where you can play, or is it like really run down?
No, okay.
And with me in high school, I feel I had a great friend group.
Okay.
I loved the teachers. I played soccer, so after school sports was awesome. And also the spaces, we had a lot of resources.
Okay.
So that made it really fun. And coming out of high school, we don't really get to, we get to choose it. Right?
Yeah.
And because of that freedom, there can come a lot of confusion and also grief, because, oh my God, I miss what was, and I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I actually miss high school. And coming out into the world, that's influenced by your high school years as well, right? I know a lot of people who are, like, the peak of their lives were in high school. And then once they leave, the environment, the people, the rituals are gone.
Yeah.
They really don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
And 10 years later, some of them are fat. They don't really know, like, not healthy at all, where their lives are going. And even the people who are, like, really, quote unquote, well off, great jobs for the government, blah, 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 but not necessarily happy.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty and also the curse of having that freedom.
Yeah.
Growing up and wanting freedom because of these structures, and then growing up and then having that freedom is like, oh shit, I actually get to choose now.
Yeah,
And it becomes all on us. And so that's one of the biggest takeaways from the workshop I went to yesterday. My friend is rituals, people, and spaces. So rituals is, it's like, what do you do when you get up in the morning, right? Do you just scroll on your phone right away and watch the news, watch TV, listen to music, or are we going outside for a walk, clearing the mind, maybe taking the dog for a walk, maybe we have a meditation practice, maybe we go to the gym. That ritual will become a behavior.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, and yesterday, my friend also said, there's a lot of talk about setting goals for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know what, throw out your goals. Leave them behind. Just make sure you get these 3 in order, because that's going to determine who we're going to become. So rituals, very important. Is there a morning prayer you do? Is it a meditation? Get that solid. And we know the most successful people in the world, athletes, billionaires, they have a meditation practice for a very, very specific reason. It's because it supports them to clear their mind and actually create their visions.
Yeah.
And the second is people. Where are we hanging out with?
Yeah. The people you're associated with.
Who are associated. They say
you are the product of the 5 closest people you hang out with. Yeah.
And so, growing older, there's going to be like professional 5 and personal 5. Oftentimes, we don't do an audit on, okay, red light, yellow light, green light.
Yeah.
Who are the greens in my life I want to hang out more with? Right? I want to get more time with them, spend more time, have more conversations, learn from them, teach them. Yellows who are like, oh, yeah, kind of stay or go. And then who are the reds?
Yeah.
You might be surprised who's on those lists. So that's the people. And a practical takeaway to refine that. And then spaces is the environment we're in, right? Waking up, or maybe your office space. Is it a mess, or is it really beautiful? There's plants everywhere. There's sunlight inside. Or, if we have the freedom in the harsh winters of Canada, can we just get out of here, go south, And that will do so much for us in our mood and our happiness levels, just by shifting the environment we're in. Yeah. I love working at cafes. I can't work at home.
I know there was a correlation between minimalistic behaviors or minimalistic people who keep their rooms very basic and their mental clarity or their mental state. They feel more organized, more focused because their environment, their mind reflects the environment and vice versa. They have a clean room, a clean open space, so it gives them a clean open space to think and come up with ideas. There's not distractions everywhere. And I think it's, I kind of don't really know where I was going to finish off on that one, but the minimalistic behaviors is good for psyche.
Having pure spaces, clean mind. Because we know, say that we have a racing mind, millions of thoughts a second, millions of thoughts a minute. And oftentimes it's correlated and it's reflective of our environment.
Yeah, no, I definitely believe that. It's a practice even myself I've been trying to do. I tend to be a lot of a sentimental hoarder, little tchotchkes and stuff like that. And I put them up on the walls. I have shelves, and and it's nice to look at all these things. But then I notice that in moments of stress, I feel like I'm claustrophobic. I'll be sitting in my room, but that's supposed to be, the space where I feel calm and relaxed. And it's becoming a place of stress because I have so much going on around me that I can't, clear out the fog and just focus on the goal at hand. So definitely a practice I want to get into a little bit more into the future, is doing that. And before coming on to the show, we had spoken a little bit. You said you do breath work. So you want to tell me a little bit about the breath work. This guy here coming in with his nice little floor mat.
It's a nail bed.
Nail bed. Okay.
Zoom in.
Sweet. Oh, wow. There we go. Okay, I thought those were all little rubber picks.
Nope.
So, acupuncture during the podcast. I know a little bit about grounding and acupuncture.
Yeah. So, we'll start there. Grounding, acupuncture. There's a lot of talk about it recently, and for a really good reason. I guess I'll start by saying shoes are making us sick. Yeah. Shoes are making us sick. We're not meant to be wearing shoes all the time. Even in the winters, it's cold. Let's put on shoes. But we didn't evolve with shoes on all the time, and nowadays shoes are so tight, and people think they're born with bunions and flat feet. No, we adapt into that. We're conditioned, just like our psyche is conditioned from our environment. Our physical anatomy is conditioned from our physical spaces, and when we're walking around with tiny shoes that constrict our feet, it's not healthy, and it changes our entire biomechanics. People have back pain, people have migraines. Some of it starts at the feet, and a lot of it contributes. A lot of it is contributed to because of poor foot health.
No, I totally believe it, because I've had to change my boots recently. I had bought a very cheap pair of footwear for work, on sale steel toe boots. They happen to be like half a size too small, and they were crushing my toes on top of each other, creating blisters and like calluses between them. So lately I've been trying to like I have this like little fucking elastic thing to like stretch out my toes.
Toe spacers.
Yeah, toe spacers. I've been trying to practice walking barefoot more often, get more grounded, and I know it's helping like my lower back pain, my posture is improving, my balance improves, and it's amazing that all the health benefits that you can get just by taking care of your feet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever seen it was supposed to be like your feet are a reflection of your hands, and like it's all attached to different organs. So I know you could do like certain massages and like pressure points to check and see which parts of your body need some work or some TLC. So do you know a little bit about that, or?
Yeah. So our organs are, for those that go to the gym or want to get healthier, your organs are more important than your muscles. So if at any point your body has to choose between your biceps or your organs, it's always going to choose your organs. And so when we're walking barefoot and when we're actually connecting with the earth, there's a lot more circulation going to our feet. And when we have circulation at our feet, we're stimulating the organs that are correlated with the certain areas in our feet, the reflexology points. So that's for those that go to the gym. If you want to put on muscle, if you want to lose weight, if you want to become healthier, one of the simplest, most affordable, free things you can do is start walking barefoot. And that has so many implications. Like, it looks simple, and because it's so simple, it actually affects every single aspect of your life, every single aspect of your health. But because it's so simple, people overlook it. And that's why people stay confused, because it's so obvious.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing a little bit about that. And you were, also touching onto the same thing. You were saying you do a little bit of breath work. So I guess you're focusing on like, how you say it, the core things, or like the easiest things that we have or do as humans, but we neglect the most. Like breathing properly, or like, maintaining hand health, So would you care to explain a little bit about your techniques with breathing, or?
Sure, yeah. So I'll share how I first got into the breath. It was actually in high school. When I came out of high school, I went to my first meditation retreat, 10 days. It's called the Vipassana, 10 days of silence. No speaking, no reading, no writing. You don't make eye contact with anyone. You don't journal either. All you do there is watch your breath come in and out. That's it. 3 times a day for an hour each, at least. And that's when I had my first outer body experience. So I left my body and I literally became the room. No drugs, no medicine, no nothing, just watching my breath. So when I came out of that experience, I was like, if my breath can do that for me, what else can it do for me? So I got my hands on really any resources I could, books, podcasts, courses, and for the first few years, my first practices were like Wim Hof, pranayamas, yoga. And this was 10 years ago. So I graduated high school 10 years ago, so it's been a 10-year journey. And immediately I saw a massive improvement in my soccer.
Okay.
Immediately, just by creating a relationship with my breath. I noticed I kept getting injured through soccer. So eventually came to a point where I had to get surgery.
Okay.
And when I got surgery, I couldn't move. I couldn't run, couldn't do anything for 6 months. And while it was devastating at the time, it gave me an opportunity to study my breath even deeper. So that's when I realized that I could actually improve my recovery and get back on the field faster and improve my endurance with a seated practice. And this is a system called Oxygen Advantage. So it's a different type of breath work. There's a lot of modalities out there, a lot infinite. And I think honestly, a lot of them are overrated.
Okay.
To the point I don't even call it breath work anymore. I don't call what I do breath work because it confuses people. I'll call what I teach breath cultivation because we're focusing on unconscious breathing function.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like training the mind to breathe a certain way without having to...
Just like working out, you know, when you lift heavier weights, it becomes easier. You teach your body this is normal. Do this pattern instead of that pattern.
Okay.
Go ABC instead of ZXF.
Okay.
In proper sequence.
Makes sense.
And when you start to breathe better, we start to live life deeper. We start to love deeper as well. Literally, the way we breathe impacts everything we do.
Everything.
Every single thing. And people overlook it. And often the people that overlook it don't know how to breathe. They don't realize the importance of it. And
hey, one thing I remember whenever I was growing up, my dad, it was like, I guess I was never sure, you know, growing up, because like your parents tell you things, right? And like sometimes you got to take it with a grain of salt, whether you're going to believe it or not. Fun fact for the dudes out there, my dad used to tell me that breath work made a change in the bedroom. He said you'll be able to like last longer if you can control your breathing, because you can control your heart rate and you can control a lot of things in that. Yeah.
There's a lot of sexual kung fu practices too that are out there.
Yeah. So
ancient practices.
It can really affect like also like not just sports, you know, relationships, you know, like sexual health, whatever. It really extends
literally everything.
Literally
I work with
everything.
my clients and you know they come to me for athletic performance, but they notice they're not reacting anymore. They're actually listening in their conversations. When someone cuts them off, they don't swear at them.
Yeah.
They just smile.
Huh?
Take a steady breath.
Oh, okay.
The way we breathe is the way that we respond to stress. So notice how many times during the day you're breathing through your mouth and you're going, even when we're speaking.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that when they're speaking, and the way we speak is also the way we breathe, right? So the faster we're speaking, the faster we're breathing. The slower we're speaking, the slower we're breathing. So you'll notice that people that are talking really fast, they're really stressed out.
Yeah.
Very stressed out, and they're exhausted because they're breathing way too much. And we actually want to slow down respiratory rate. So what I teach is to slow down respiratory rate, actually improve breathing function so that you don't have to take a deep breath to think, or rather you don't have to think about taking a deep breath to calm down. You're already calm because you're breathing deep unconsciously. You're getting good sleep. You don't have to force your way into better health through going to the gym, like bashing your head through this wall of hard work. We're doing it by playing smart. You know, we were just talking before the podcast began, Abraham Lincoln, I think it was Abraham Lincoln, he said, if you have 6 hours to cut down a tree, spend the first 4 hours sharpening the blade.
Yeah.
Most people that look to grow in anything, they just work too hard with a dull axe.
Yeah.
They end up wasting energy, eventually injuring themselves, burn out. And that's why I got injured so much, because I would just go without knowing my limits, breathing through my mouth.
Yeah.
So when I came across that, I was like, oh, no one taught me how to breathe. Not my coaches, not my teachers, not my physios, not my doctors, especially not our doctors. They don't even check for breathing when we go in.
Yeah.
And it's the most important thing. And the world has a breathing dysfunction.
Yeah.
So most people are sick, heart disease on the rise, mental health conditions, whole host of things.
So are you looking to like say in the future, maybe like, you know, teach like this as like well, you were saying you have clients, so I'm guessing like you already do this, or you kind of have like your own business and okay. And how's that going for you?
It's been going great. I've been offering it professionally for the last 3 years.
Hey, good for you. Congratulations.
Continuing to cultivate my craft, innovate new systems, and right now I'm at a kind of a turning point in my business where I'm transforming my intensive program, which is 6 weeks, into a 12-month support program.
Okay, interesting.
So expanding the support, expanding my reach, and really.
And do you have
dialing in.
like a social media maybe we could share with everybody if they wanted to, maybe book some courses with you or something?
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram.
Okay.
Peak breathing. So peak like top of the world, PEAK.
Yeah.
Breathing like breathing.
Okay, all one word, no underscores or... Okay, perfect. So you guys heard it. I will definitely make sure to link it down in the comments or in the subsections so you guys can go check out his profile. Feel free to give him a follow. Yeah.
And reach out if you have any questions. If you'd like me to guest speak at one of your teams, your clubs, or your schools, just reach out.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay, so you also do like seminar type thing, like up in front of a crowd and speak, and that'd be interesting to have you like maybe come down and I don't know and do like a course at the school or maybe at the community center or something. Yeah, maybe we'll have to stay in touch for something like that.
We can arrange that.
Yeah, I guess some of the last questions I have for you is, in your current situation. You're still living in Ontario, in Ottawa. What are some things that you feel what are some things you feel that your community or at least the area around you could do to support youth and to give them a space where they can express themselves more openly? If you could come up with something or you feel that there is something that could be worked on in your community or something that could be contributed for youth, what's an idea that you would do? We've had people come on and talk about having like cultural centers, historical buildings to talk about their towns.
Yeah, I'm thinking. For me, because sports were so pivotal in my life, there was a way to offer more organized sports to the youth. That'd be really important because we meet so many people, we meet so many friends along the way. We build a skill that we're good at, competent at. And because we're competent at something, we become more confident, not just on the field, but outside of it.
Yeah.
And when we become more confident, we become more comfortable in our own bodies. And oftentimes that's, in the world, that's what's missing is not everyone feels comfortable in their bodies, and there's a lot of anxiety, depression, and lots of confusion and not feeling safe in their own bodies and in environments. So that's really important, is having somewhere we can go to not only build and be with community, but also to cultivate a skill.
No, I totally agree with you on that. Like it's like the main goal of the podcast for us is to, bring on youth such as yourself and get them to share their story, open up a little bit, and tell us what they're looking for. Because the whole thing is we want to hear their story. We want to hear what you guys want, because too many times you've probably heard the saying, children should be seen, not heard. And that seems to be the issue, is that a lot of us tend to look at youth and think, well, we're older, we're wiser, but sometimes those kids, they have the best ideas. And when we start looking at troubled or at-risk youth, there are plenty of things that we could start doing as communities, as individual members of our communities, to help youth and give them that space that they need to express themselves and talk. So, and I totally agree with you in having like organized sports leagues, having more, more chances for kids to join, communities and play together and express themselves and just feel comfortable being themselves.
Yeah, and also cultivate a skill.
And yeah, you were saying, and to cultivate a skill. No, that is definitely very important.
Because even something like sports, that stays with us for life.
Oh yeah.
Whether that's like hand-eye coordination, whether it's muscle memory, or whether it's communication. Communication is one of the most important things. And when, especially playing in team sports, that's a default. We've got to learn how to communicate with our teammates.
Oh yeah, well, like how many times, like once you transition to becoming an adult and you get into the working field, are you a team player? You know, do you work well within a team? Do you, you know, are you coachable? Are you teachable? So getting it young and having that exposure definitely would benefit you whenever you get older into like the work field. You know how to work with different personality types, and you know how to overcome certain obstacles, who you vibe with or work with better.
Yeah. What do you wish you had when you were younger?
What do I wish I had when I was younger? I would definitely say more community in general. When I was growing up in Danford Lake, there was like maybe 6 of us, like kids in the whole town.
Wow.
Yeah. So there was like, I'm not going to go through names, but there was like me, my 2 cousins, and my best friend who was from the French schools. And we were kind of like the main clique of Danford.
The only kids.
The only kids. So like, you know, there was no like water parks. We used to go to the library to hang out. Like that was the chill spot.
Library.
Or we had what we called the mud run. So it was like the community center. So it's where we would have like, say, like rodeos, the skating rink is there. And then we had a mud run every year. So they'd like, you know, cut out 2 spots into the dirt, fill it up with some water, and then we'd run trucks through and have this event every year. Oh. So during the off season, all of us would go down, you know, like truck through the mud with our BMXs or our 4-wheelers and, you know, hang around the rink, play floor hockey and stuff. But I just feel like there was no resources. Like, you know, I would have loved being able to like go to the arcade with my friends, or, you know, like walking down the street, just, you know, like Ottawa has, you know, like you walk down Rideau Street and there's just buildings everywhere. If you want to go window shopping, if you,
oh, yeah,
you know.
interesting. In a small town, I can see that being a challenge.
Yeah, like I used to pedal bike, say anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes, depending where I lived. Just on a flat highway with trees on both sides and the occasional house popping up. So you get all the way down to the general store. We'd all hang out in the front, have like a chocolate milk or a Rockstar, you know.
Chocolate milk, I love that.
And that was it. Like even as kids, we were like the old men of the town. You know, like, how do you say it? If you showed up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, there was like 6 to 8 guys that were in their like, you know, 40s to 60s having coffee. They're all shooting the shit, you know, hunting season, what's going on with the small town gossip, business, yada, yada. Then they had to go to work. So they were at work for 7. Then we'd come down to the store on our pedal bikes or whatever we had at the time, around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, say on like Saturday. We'd go in, get our chocolate milks, our Rockstars, O. Henrys, or whatever we needed, go outside, and we'd shoot the shit about the gossip of the town and what was going on up at the gas station, what was going on up the road here, and because we had nothing else to do except for talk. Now, I found that was a big benefit, you know, like I got to socialize with my friends and actually socialize, build bonds, build friendships, because you had time to talk about the nitty-gritty. You had time to talk about the good stuff.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Were you at the time?
Was I at the time?
When you speak about these memories.
Yeah, I was the oldest in the group, between the ages of like 13 and 17. Yeah. And then most of my friends were about anywhere between like 2 years to 4 years younger than me. So.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, because growing up, being in a city, I always just hung out with people the same age as me within like 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Even in high school, yeah. Especially as I got into high school, I just hung out with people my age, maybe 1 year older or 1 year younger. But even that was like a big chunk.
Oh
my God, they're in 10th grade, we're in 9th grade. You know, it was a big deal.
No, I know.
It's cool that you had that experience hanging out with people from a whole variety of ages.
Yeah.
Because when we're so young, like, that's most of our life, you know? 4 years is like half of our life sometimes.
Oh yeah, well, like I'd say like it definitely, like it benefited me in this aspect. Being able to work in like youth groups, being able to connect with youth, because as I was growing up, I was used to hanging out with kids that were, you know, like 4 years, 6 years younger than me. And then eventually I got into a Skills Link program. So I was taught different media art skills, like how to do film and audio. And so after that kind of progressed, I kept those skills and then came back to working within youth centers and doing a couple of things. So I don't know, I found it was beneficial to have friends like that spanned a bunch of different ages. And I've always been very non-judgmental, open book. A lot of the friends that I hang out with, like you couldn't put two of them in the same room together because they can't stand each other. But
Unless you're there.
yeah. No, I literally used to have like my cousin and his cousin, and I was roommates with one, best friends with the other. We could hang out one-on-one anytime. Anytime you put the three of us together in the same room, those two guys punch each other in the face. And like not even an exaggeration. It'd be like, your mom something, poof. Guys, come on. just try to, vibe together for one day. I don't know, like your scheduling, if this was like just an off shot or like maybe you'd like to come back on again sometime.
Yeah,
share
we
a
can
little bit
definitely
more.
arrange
Because like
part 2.
I definitely vibed with you for this episode, and I'd love to have you come back on and share more of your story, because I found it quite interesting hearing from your side of things, Ontario, and just your story is unique. Everybody's story is unique, but I find yours has just been unique from the stories I'm used to hearing around here. Like, you had a good support system, you had a good group, you faced hurdles with like immigration and stuff, and you still managed to take the peaceful route. You still managed to rise above those hurdles and those, setbacks, and I wouldn't say relied, but like you had those supports from, friends, community, family to, keep you from being at risk. Like sometimes a lot of the challenges that youth will face in their lives can put them or set them up for, like risky situations. And a lot of those kids tend to just give up and go down the hole. So I love that despite you having a different story and facing your own set of challenges, you still manage to rise above, be a good person, have a good heart, lead with good intentions, and try to put good energy into the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's listening who is experiencing something really challenging and in a dark night, Carl Jung says, a tree can only grow to heaven if its roots reach down to hell. So there's always opportunity, right? The most successful people in the world, they didn't get born billionaires. They're probably broke, barely had anything to eat. And the only way we fail is if we quit.
Yeah.
And there's so much gems, there's so many gifts in the challenges. And there's always lessons. And so if you're listening to this, know that it shall pass, and to not give up. Keep going. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate those words.
And there's also this inquiry of like finding purpose and finding the meaning of life. And one of my coaches, one of my mentors says, forget all that. So this came when someone asked him, how do I find my passion? Or rather, how do I find my purpose? And he said, explore your interests, develop your passions, and commit to your purposes. So we can only really truly have a purpose if we have passions about something, right? Whether that's, if you love soccer, you love teaching kids and seeing them grow into young men. Okay, cool, maybe that's your purpose in helping them along their journey. You wouldn't really know that if you didn't explore your interests when you were younger, playing soccer. So wherever you are, if you're having a challenge or like confused as to what am I here for, explore your interests, develop your passions, and then commit to your purposes. One or more.
Simple and beautiful. I like that. Well, thank you for your words of advice, and I really appreciate you coming on to the show today. I will wrap this up by saying thank you guys very much for joining us again on our 5th, I believe, episode of the Gatineau Valley Youth broadcast. I am your host, Jesse Rowe, and I am here with, again, Aakrist?
Aakrist.
I got it this time. Awesome. So it has been a pleasure having you on. I hope to have you back on again in the future. And you take care of yourself and have yourself a safe trip back to Ottawa. Try to avoid the snow.
Yeah. Until next time.
Until next time. Thank you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe as we try to hit our goal of 50 subscribers on YouTube, and that allows us to go live. Guys, we're aiming to go live so that you can connect with us on the podcast. On Saturdays, I will be able to go on live. You guys can comment below. I'll be able to respond to questions, give you guys some answers, possibly resources, and maybe even connect you with some of our guests that we have on the show more directly. So please, guys, whatever support you can lend is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys very much. Much love, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.